What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Not That Problematic, where I talk about things that are not that problematic. And today we have a special guest. He is my son, Lando Bando, Banana Fanafo Fandos, God Dad, Mr. Ian, last name.
Last name. That is my last name.
Okay.
It's LAST apostrophe NAME. Yeah. That's what it is. What's going on, ma'am? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being a guest on my riggedy little podcast or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to tell you why you're wrong all the time.
I'm never wrong. But listen, so Ian and I have a lot of debates in the garage. We go back and forth about a lot of things.
Garage.
So I decided that I'd just like to have him on here to just give a perspective and an outlook on today's topic, which is going to be millennial parents and what it's like navigating like parenthood, school, trying to figure out what else you want to do in life and everything like that, and doing it at the age of 30 or the age of almost 30.
I'm 25,
and oh, you're 20. Never mind then. Never mind.
I'm old as hell. Goddamn, I'm washed.
Yeah. Imagine when you actually hit 30.
Yeah,
sheesh. They might as well put you down at that point.
That might be it.
That might be it.
That might be it.
But what is it like for you? You're a father. Tell us about your beloved child.
Oh man, she's great. She's 2 now, and now she just wants to jump on the bed and jump off and do cartwheels and I don't know, man. It's just crazy watching them grow. Because when she was born, like she would just sleep for 15 hours or 20 hours really, and just sip on breasts, man. That's it. That's all they would do. And then now they eat sandwiches. You know what I mean? They just do that. The thing is crazy, man. Aging is wild.
Yeah, it's like they couldn't even get how to use their thumbs. They didn't even know, and now they're picking up. Mm-hmm. What is it called? The little mandarin orange peels and grapes and whatnot. It's wild.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but she's great. She's really, she's dependent, like, on her parents. So we're trying to break that. Because we don't want her to, have to go out. Like, when she goes out, she doesn't think critically for herself, you know what I mean? So
you would say that's important for her to be able to have, critical thinking skills. But, so I would say, back in the day, she's a little girl. She needs to be in the house and cuddled and...
But so do little boys. That's... Everybody wants to be cuddled. And everybody wants to, be loved. That's, a basic human need is to be loved, you know what I mean? So, you have to do the same with your boys and your girls, you know? And you have to learn them. All kids are different. If you have 2 kids, they're not going to be the same. You know? So, yeah. And I don't have 2 kids to know that. I work with kids for most of my life. And I know that there are parents with 2 kids, 2 different personalities. Completely.
Yeah, because it's 4 of us. Sheesh. And not one of our personalities is the same. But that's what I'm glad you said that, because we're going to that's how we're going to segue into just today's topic, just starting with how we were all raised. I know for my family, basically similar, except for my brother. So it's three girls and then a boy. And for my brother, he kind of got he was the baby. So, your parents are tired by the time they get to the last one. So they get to run amok and do whatever. And then, but he also was granted more freedom because of the fact that he, was a boy, and it was oh, well, he's a boy, so he can go out and do this. He's a boy, so he doesn't have to do this and this and this. And that just is instilling, things that we have to unlearn. Okay, yeah, he is a boy, but why can he go out and go out with his friends after some type of sporting event, and I have to come home? Why can't there be? And the answer was always, oh, it's because you're a girl or whatever. So that's one thing I'm definitely trying to let Lando just like instilling him. And it's just like, to me, there's like, I don't even know how to say this, but whatever. It's not that problematic. But it's like, I do believe in gender roles to an extent.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like raising children, it's like, it doesn't matter like your genitalia or your gender or anything like that. It's like, are you responsible? If you can be whatever age boy and whatever age girl, but if the boy is irresponsible, like, why am I going to let you go out and do what you want and give you too much leeway? Because you're going to be reckless with it. But I don't know. That's one thing. You like going to let Luna go out and do all those things?
Oh, yeah, you got to, man. Yeah. And that's just what it is. You have to be open and honest with your kids, so your kids will be open and honest with you. You know, most times kids just want to know that you understand them. You know, you can't treat them like you know better. You got to be humble, you know, as a parent.
Yeah.
You got to be humble.
To an extent, because you also got to let them know, like, you know, I'm not
I know,
out.
but you know what I mean? Just like, yeah, that's true too. But, you know, I always, you know, tell my mom the lessons that I learned the most are the ones that, like, when I didn't get beat. She, like, sat me down and, like, talked to me, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing, too, man. Like, you know, shout out to my mom if she's listening to this. Love you to death. But there weren't very many times where, you know, as I got older, I think we stopped getting, like beat when I was probably like 11 or 12, when my mom was just like, all right, you know, I'm not gonna put my hands on you, but, you know, you can't watch TV or you can't. And those are right. And those are the things, like you said, when there's not a beating involved. Because it's like when kids do wrong, I know way back in the day when I was a young whippersnapper, and I would be like, when you weighing out the consequences, you'd be like, oh shit, I'm gonna just get a whooping. All right, cool. I might as well go out if the only consequence is gonna be a whooping. That's why I personally am not about to be like whooping on Lando and stuff like that. Only because it's like, I firmly believe in timeout. I'm that type of millennial parent. Like, I'm gonna put you in this designated timeout spot, and like, you're gonna listen. And if you don't, the longer you don't listen, the longer you're sitting in this timeout spot. And I feel like kids understand that more, because it's like, all they want to do is play at that age. They just want to play. And when you're telling them immediately you can't play, that's effective. Yeah, they're gonna be like, well, dang. They're gonna look back. Well, the last time I jumped off this chair, I couldn't play for like a whole minute. Like, and a minute's a long time to a kid. Yeah, it's like
rationalizing.
Yeah, and I feel like they understand better with that type of discipline rather than, like, you know, putting your hands on them. Yeah, I don't feel like that teaches kids very much.
I fear. Like, I just think that teaches kids the wrong thing. Like, you're not doing the bad thing because you don't want to get beat. Like, you should not want to do something that's bad because it's bad. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't want to really beat. Though I don't beat Luna, but it's just like, if she's about to steal something, I don't want her to be like, damn, like, I'm not gonna do this. I want to get a whooping. I want her to know, hey, I'm a good person. I don't want to do this.
I would want Landon to know, hey, I'm not gonna steal this because I don't want to have an encounter with the police. Well, like, that would be
that's true too.
Because they have to know consequences.
Of course.
Like, you know, good people still said no one ever on the planet. But, like, you know, because it's like, what if it's a circumstantial, like, you know, thing, if you have to steal something like that. But it's like, I want him to know, like, that there's consequences. And I feel like people our parents' age feel like if we don't whoop because my mom, again, I love you so much, Mom. Lando will be doing something. She's like, Papa, or whatever. And then she's like,
just tell him don't
do it. And then, but they feel like that's the consequence. So that's the immediate consequence.
Yeah.
But also, it's like, I don't know how much you got whooped, but we used to have to, like, wait on a whooping.
Oh yeah, it happen all the time.
Yeah, and it's like, now you're like, that's fucked up my whole day. Like, you don't get home until this time, but I'm thinking about you gonna whoop me this whole time, and it's like, you're not even mad anymore at the situation, so you have to harbor up all that anger again just to give me a whooping. When you can just put the kid on punishment. I don't know.
Yeah.
those are just, it's like the way you grow up is like you pick from each parent, like I'm gonna do that, I'm not gonna do that, I'm gonna do that, and that's definitely
definitely
what I did.
about the people, like your friends' parents, you know what I'm saying, like you want to learn from them and you want them to learn from you as you get older and shit too. So
yeah. So growing up, would you say more, or how about this? Is your parenting style more geared towards like your mom, your dad, your aunt, uncle? Like who did you kind of mold your style of parenting after?
I mean, it's a combination. It's a lot my mom, because minus the beatings, because she's the mean one, man. Everybody asks my mom is the mean one. Yeah, besides the beatings, is similar to her. You know, a lot of love and a lot of trying to explain things when you're not mad. Yeah, and then just other parents and just people and experiences that I had. So, yeah, for sure. Like I've got friends' parents like I look up to. They're, you know, have a huge impact on my life. Yeah.
That's what's up. So, with Corona and COVID and everything causing everybody to stay at home, you are working from home now, correct? Okay. So, how do you feel about like the role of a stay-at-home parent? Do you feel like that's more so like changing with like millennials? We're kind of knocking that shit down, or
well, if you make it, I'm gonna.
You can say
go off top. No, I'm just gonna go off topic just a bit. I went out this weekend. We were looking at houses and stuff, right? And the houses were like, the house itself was like $360,000, but then you got to pay $50,000 for the lot. So now that's $410,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. Nothing crazy. Not worth $400,000. And I'm thinking to myself, who makes that kind of money by themselves that are millennials? You know what I'm saying? There's very few of us. So you need 2 incomes to come in to buy something nice. You know? So yeah, man, I would personally be a stay-at-home dad if my wife made enough money. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, it teach their own. But if you're a stay-at-home parent, you got to do everything. I'm talking about cook, clean, do all that. I think that's fair, right?
So the stay-at-home parent with a nanny thing, that's a no-go.
That's a big no-go. Well, I don't care. Well, I guess maybe, well, what are you doing? As long as it's done. But that means I'm paying for it to get done. So yeah, it's not. No. Ain't no way, man. Nah, ain't no way.
Yeah, it's like you see all those, what is it? Real Housewives or whatever the fuck. It's like, yeah, nah, I can't. Nah, never mind. Them knowing they millennials, they generation days. That's a whole nother, matter of fact, that's gonna be a whole nother topic about like, what are these women doing? Like, y'all gotta have something else to do. They making money, so far be it for me. But I'm just like, why? I don't get reality TV. Oh, that's okay. With the prominence of social media, right? And like I personally, like, how are you gonna navigate that as like social media, cell phones?
I'm gonna have access to everything, at least until she's 14.
Why 14? Why not 16 or 13?
14 is like 9th grade, is high school.
Yeah, okay.
So as it comes to high school, you should get more responsibility. So it's like, I'll trust you to not do anything that you wouldn't want me to see. I know it's going to happen, but I want you to, you know what I mean? I want you to know that I'm always watching.
But it's like, what if she's like, you're going to have to get her a phone at least at like 3rd grade. She's going to have to have a phone.
It's probably going to be 3rd grade.
Yeah.
But it depends on how responsible she is.
Yeah, but either way.
She's a responsible kid, but I'm not going to give the irresponsible kid a phone and then what? Lets his friend borrow it? Now I got to go to his friend's house and talk to his dad for an hour. Bro, I don't want to do that, bro. No, if you're not responsible, you're not getting a phone.
But what if she has to go to like dance class or something like that? She's carpooling.
I'm going to be there.
You not going to let her carpool with the other dance moms?
Okay, so I get the mom's number.
I guess.
If you need me, yeah. But you got to get your kids that stuff too, man.
Yeah, because then if she don't got a phone, now she getting picked on for not having a phone. And kids are cruel.
Like I try to we limit her tablet time or the screen time or whatever, but you got to give your kids that at least a bit. Because the kids that don't know, they don't get no laptops, no iPads, nothing. They're going to go to school and everybody's going to be everything's going to be on the iPad.
That's what I'm saying. That's what's scary. iPad, that's what's scary because this is all they know. And I know once they get, because obviously they're basically the same age. What is it, a 6-month difference? Not 6 even? 6 months.
When was he born?
September.
9 months.
9 months difference.
Yeah, they're the same age.
Yeah, and it's like, but by the time they get even 7 years from now, nothing's gonna be the same.
Yeah, it's not gonna be the same, man. Shout out to Drake. Nothing's the same. But yeah, no, it's scary, man. And I know that's how our parents felt about us.
Yeah.
Like, damn, what's gonna happen to my kids? Now I don't know. Shit.
But we're still at that. We're at that age, and I know everybody's seen that meme. Yeah, it's just like. We know life without technology, not technology, obviously, but just like the convenience of handheld technology. We know life without that. But then also it's like we know how to navigate through like all of this technology because as we were going into adulthood,
we had to learn it.
Yeah. Because like when I went, when I was an undergrad the first time, way back when, it was like we had Blackboard, yes, but it was like, it was barely a thing. Like there was no Blackboard Live. Yeah. Like we were still turning in papers.
When I was in college, 2010. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but now it's just like everything's so technologically advanced. It's just like sometimes I feel like I'm getting passed by. I'm just like, but I know like our kids are gonna.
Yeah, they're gonna make me feel like an old fart, man. I'm gonna be out there asking them how to whatever is next from Bluetooth, man. I'm gonna be asking how to fix that shit. Hey, just press the button, Dad. I gotta show you this all the time.
Lando's already like on the screen, like pressing stuff. Like I'm like, what are you even?
Yeah, it's scary.
That kid is wild. He's a wild kid. So millennial parenting and dating. How is that gonna look with little Luna Bear?
As long as I want to meet the kid and I want to meet his parents. Depends on how old are we talking?
I don't know. It's your child.
I don't know. Like I can see. I don't know. Like I guess like 12 or 13, whatever. It depends on what you're doing.
I lived a very sheltered life, so I was not thinking about dating anybody's child.
Like just have a little boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. But there will be you ain't closing no doors. And I just think that's.
But fair. You said you're gonna as long as you harbor a environment of trust.
I was that 13-year-old boy.
But that you just said earlier that all kids are different.
Okay.
No kids the same.
Because I've already experienced the worst of the worst. So imagine I came up and I wasn't that boy. I was a sheltered boy. I would be naive enough to think that my daughter isn't doing anything behind that closed door.
What if she's not though?
But so that she's not.
So there's that mistrust. That's what I'm saying.
If her boyfriend is at the house too, absolutely. 12, 13, okay. Maybe feel like 16, 17, like, okay, like I get it, whatever.
I don't know. I feel like, but again, I have a son. So.
Yeah. And I know, like I said, I've seen girls lie to their parents.
But I've seen girls not.
I know.
Right, so that's
why I hope that's what goes back to what I was talking about, having a good relationship, because you want them to be as open with you as possible.
Right, but how can you expect her to be open with you if you're not giving her, yeah. But you making her leave the door open?
That's just one.
I'm just saying, that's a big one.
It all depends. If she was like, hey, we want to watch a movie, we want to turn it up, blah, blah, blah. Maybe, but then I'm still thinking like, damn.
Because what if the thing is this? Is like you let her go in the room with like, her homegirls and they're having a sleepover and little do you know.
She's a lesbian.
She's a lesbian. But you let her close the door, you letting them sleep over, it's no issue. But when she studies with her guy friend who's really her homeboy, like, then you making them keep the door open.
I think I'm protecting her more from pregnancy. And not necessarily sexual experiences.
Okay.
Because sexual experiences are going to happen.
Regardless.
I will never be able to change that. No, it's not. You know what I mean? I can't do anything about that. But she can get pregnant.
what if she uses a condom? What if you teach her about sex education?
No, I'm going to. Not like a weird way, but like I'm definitely going to,
right, so she can get pregnant. Not if she's a lesbian.
That's what I'm saying. If she's a lesbian, she can get pregnant.
Right.
Well, so I mean, she can get pregnant, but I mean, you know what I mean?
But if she's also a lesbian, she's not going to have sex with the guy.
I know that. So then that's if I knew she was a lesbian, then of course I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna care if she closes the door.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you didn't know, but you guys' relationship is gonna be open enough so where if she is a lesbian, she'll tell you. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. With me, it's no doors. Every door is coming off the hinge. No locks on the door. I'm just joking.
No, you're not.
I'm definitely just joking. I'm super.
That nigga gonna hit me up to my, oh man, just let me use your house. My mama home.
No, I feel like I'm pretty much a hippie when it comes to just like, cause I just feel like with like with both my parents, I lived like I was so sheltered, like growing up, that when I got to fam, it was just like, whoa, new experiences, new life. I don't have anybody to answer to. I don't have anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing but freedom. And it's like when you have nothing but freedom, you take it super far to where you overcorrect. So you have to then come back to like a happy medium. Mm-hmm. And so I definitely want him to know that about just like what's out there to offer. Obviously nothing crazy.
You're going to see a lot of stuff, man. You're going to see a lot of stuff.
Just give him the leeway to show that he's either responsible or irresponsible without making an assumption that just because he's a certain age, just because he's a certain age, that he's not responsible enough to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever.
Yeah, I know I had to be responsible when I was like 7. I had to wake myself up and then walk a mile to school.
A mile?
Oh, it was a mile.
How long is it going to be when you tell Luna that story? It's going to be like 3 miles?
It's going to go up to 3 miles, but it was
that's a long way to walk.
Yes, I lived on Fort Meade. It was like 0.85 miles. Like that. But that's a mile, bro. I got to walk there and back. So that's over a mile there and back.
That's a 3K that you just did.
I'm telling you, man.
It's a marathon.
That's a 3K, man. That's a quarter marathon, whatever it is. An eighth of a marathon. Some shit, man.
No, like we had to walk to school, but it wasn't nothing crazy. Like our school was, cause it was me. Like my siblings were in sets, so it's like my 2 older siblings and then me and my brother, and we had to walk to school together. It was like a block and a half, maybe like 2 blocks up the hill.
That was elementary school. I was 7 years old. I had because my mom was working late. She wasn't home. She worked the overnight shift as a nurse. So I gotta do my alarm, iron my clothes, get out the
At
door.
7 years old, you was doing all this.
I swear,
little 7-year-old here.
Yes, bro. So at 7, I was really responsible.
So how do you feel like that has shaped you as far as being a parent? What do you want Luna to be? Do you want to have her be? Are you expecting that same sort of know-how and responsibility out of her at 7?
No. All kids are different. I just expect her, as she gets older, I don't want her to settle, or I don't want her to feel like she can't do something.
So you're one of those you could be whatever you want to be type of
Yeah,
parents.
you gotta be. You gotta be, especially for little girls, man. Especially for little girls, because there's nothing like they don't get to see anything. They don't get to see any leaders, you know. And Hillary Clinton was almost the first female president, and all respect to Hillary Clinton, but that would have been a terrible person to look up to as a little girl. You know what I mean?
So what about Kamala?
Vice President Harris, because I don't want to butcher her first name, because I really don't know.
I'm sorry.
I want her to be able to tell me how to say it so I know. Vice President Harris she's a what's the word I'm looking for, man? She's an anomaly.
Yes.
She's an anomaly because it's like I feel like this should be a bigger thing than what it is. Mm-hmm. I feel like the first female vice president, she's Jamaican and Indian, the first multiracial, non-white, whatever, vice president, and I just don't feel it.
Damn.
I just don't feel it, man.
Are you saying that we should be like she should be getting more praise than what she's getting?
This should be a bigger thing, but it's not because of her past or whatever people are saying about her past. They just seems like a person that didn't really. She targeted black communities and black people, and or had the highest incarceration rate or whatever it was. And people kind of look at that like,
That's the thing about people. Just to get off the kids topic before it'll come back around some way, I guess, hopefully. But it's just like, that's what happens. Like, it's like, if I'm an attorney and this is about to sound super problematic, but whatever. If I'm an attorney and I think she was in Oakland when she was the state attorney or whatever she was, or it's hood up there, it's hood up there where she was at, and it's like, if you're breaking the law, like,
if you're breaking the law, you go to
you
jail.
know, right, and you know that you're breaking the law,
but you're putting more focus. You're not putting anything in place for them to know better.
I feel like I understand where you're coming from, but I feel like when people make statements like, "Oh, she was just locking black people up and she was doing I feel like it takes away the self accountability.
I hear what you're saying
out of it,
and it's very hard to be a
black woman anything without getting
an attorney or any public representative of a bad neighborhood. It's hard because you're gonna get a lot of arrests. You are.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So it's like,
I want to know that you just locking. Okay, they're breaking the law, but why did that happen? Why were these areas focused on?
Right. I get what you're saying, but she was also. So I feel like once she's not out there arresting.
I hear what you're saying.
These people
under her watch.
Yeah, like that's just
okay. But put something into place for my people to know better.
That's not her job. She doesn't have the capability to do that. Okay, as an ADA.
So what are you doing then? You're in that position just to do the just to catch the criminals. Is that what you're saying?
No, because it's not her job as a lawyer to catch the criminal.
I'm well aware.
Yeah, right. So you said you're in there just to catch the criminals.
Not catching them, but I'm saying you're trying them, aren't you?
Yes, and I feel like I don't know, but I feel like I don't know personally, but I feel like she did do what she could do to maybe use lighter sentences, or you know what I'm saying, not prosecute as hard or go from one charge to a lesser charge because they know this isn't that. And I feel like, but you still have to put more of the onus, I guess, on the police, because those are the people that target those neighborhoods, that she can't do anything about the people that are arrested. She didn't go out and arrest those people. If they get found guilty, she can't do anything about that because she's not sitting on that jury. You know what I mean?
I understand.
So it's like, I just feel like people put a lot on her.
I feel like it should be.
And that's the thing about being a black woman. People always feel like that you should have been doing more. You could have been doing more. And I feel like she did what she could.
I understand.
Within the realm of her scope of practice.
But you know how black folks get.
Yeah. Yep, I do. It's always on the black woman. It's always on the black woman.
It's not just the black woman.
Yes, it is.
They give any lawyer, anybody, any black person, like as a cop or whatever.
But it's that much worse if you are a black woman. Is that much worse? And so that's why I feel like it's not as big as of a thing.
Yeah.
That's why they're not giving her. But
this would. I'm just for whatever reason, if it was Michelle Obama that was vice president,
as the people still have shit to say. But Michelle Obama, she's a lawyer, but she did like private practice, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying it would be celebrated more.
And that's because she was the wife. That's because she was the wife of the first black president.
Vice President Harris, I'm not gonna butcher her name, sometimes just tries too hard. Like and this is Biden too. It's not just her.
That's politicians.
Okay, but I know you guys don't know me. I know you. I know you don't listen to Bad Bunny or.
You don't know what this woman listens to.
I know she doesn't.
How?
I know Joe Biden.
You in her iPad?
But trust me, I know Joe Biden doesn't listen to nobody that I know. And I'm just saying, you, if you care about me, I don't give a shit about that. I don't care. Show me. Show me.
I feel like Michelle Obama would get more I don't know, praise is not the word that I want to use, but it would be more of a thing if it was Michelle Obama because of the package that Michelle Obama was introduced to us in. She was given to us on a pedestal as this strong chocolate black woman who is with yes, sorry, I'm not forever FLOTUS. So I'm not taking anything away from her, excuse me, but she was introduced to us as our first lady, right? And she was so poised and just propped up and given to us in a glittery box. But Vice President Harris, we were introduced, most of the United States was introduced to her with her being in a campaign run for presidency. So obviously they're going to bring out all of the worst things about her. They presented her to us. It's like you get a steak. I'm going to use a Dr. Huxtable reference. If somebody gives you a steak, they give you a steak on a silver, or a piece of chicken on a silver platter, or a steak on a trash can lid, you're going to take the chicken because it's presented better. That's what I'm saying. Like that, and that's why Kamala, that's why it's not that big of a thing to most people or whatever, because she was presented to us like we're not supposed to get behind this black woman because she has locked niggas up.
Not for anything, not that this matters to me, but some people care. She married to a white man?
That's another thing. She is married to a white man.
I personally don't care about that, but that's how people feel. That's how black people feel, man. And
bringing it back to that, so how we all know, like, our parents have put in us. Y'all hear Lando in the background. I'm not editing that out because he's here. But it's like our parents have put in us like beliefs in and just like different things about different types of people. When was the first time you like realized that like something that your parents said about a certain group of people was just like not it at all, and that was kind of like their I don't know, own biases against that? And as a second question, how hard are you going to try to not do that to Luda?
I'm going to just tell her all people are bad, man. Anybody can treat you wrong. I've been treated worse by black women in positions of power than anybody else. White men have given me more opportunities. So I can't say that white people are evil, you know what I mean? Some are, but just some black folks are evil too. I was just a young kid trying to make it in at this job, and my black supervisor just didn't like me. And nobody knew why.
So you just realized it's just people.
It's people. Anybody can turn on you, man. Anybody. No matter what you look like. I try to help people that are disenfranchised. I try to help people that need the help. Like, there was my grandfather's friend. She's a female. She's recently passed away. And I heard a story about how her nephew gave her $150,000 to pay off her condo, cash. I wish, you know what I'm saying, where did you get, that's crazy for you, and they're white. And it's crazy for you to have that amount of money, but that's because it was set up for you somewhere along the line. You know what I mean? Most likely you didn't just earn it. You might have. Probably not.
History tells us though.
You know? Right. It's right. That's what I'm saying. You know how people come into my job and I deal with land, and they're like, yeah, like I'm gonna build this, I got this land, I'm gonna build this house for my daughter. And I'm like, bro, where you get this land from? You don't just give it. You know where he got the land from. It's given to you. It gets passed down to you, man. That's what I'm talking about. So it's harder. But anybody can treat you like boo boo.
You can say shit. It's a grown people show. It has a little E sticker. Yeah. I feel like that. I'm just like, just as long as you're kind, I'm just gonna. I know it's a corny rule, but I heavily live by treat people how you want them to treat you. So it's like, and my grandma used to always say, shout out to you, Jean, because that's my baby. She always says, nobody is better than her, and she's not better than anyone. Like no one's beneath her. Like everybody is like human beings are on just like the playing field. Yeah, but people are propped up to be. That's one thing too. I want to like leave like Lando like set up. I don't want him to have to be, because like shit. I'll put Lando in every single private school, every single academy, every single country club, anything that he won't ever get access to otherwise, because that's my job to set him up, give him and not saying that these places can't be, you know, like black or whatever, because hopefully if they got like a black private school I can put him in, you better believe 100%. That that's where he's going. But it's like, I want to give him. As long as it's good, it's accredited. Obviously.
That, and as long as it's better than
he ain't going to no Dr. Umar shit. Yeah, right. But like, I want him to better himself as a black man. Not anyway. That's a whole nother topic for next season. But it's like I want to set him up with everything possible, and I want to give him the best of everything, so that I know for myself that Stefan and I have done all that we can do for him to be a productive member of society, and for him to, now if he goes out and becomes a serial killer, if he's Jeffrey Dahmer, there's nothing I can do. That shit was in him. That shit was in him from the beginning. Like but if anything that I can do to prevent him from being the school shooter, you know what I mean, I'm gonna do. And that's another thing that I'm going to make sure that I do for him is talk to him. Because that's and just see how he's doing, and put like credence into the way that he feels, and let him know that his feelings are valid, because that's something that I didn't get from my mother or my father growing up. It was just like, how are you? And you don't want to tell them nothing. You're just like, oh, I'm fine. But they don't know that you're going through whatever you're going through. And that was an assumption. That's one thing that I definitely want to break. It's just like, kids don't go through nothing. Kids are fucking cruel.
Yeah, man.
And the better technology gets, the worse kids are gonna fucking get.
Access to everything.
It's like, kids are cruel.
What's either gonna make them better or worse?
Yeah, and that's why that teenage suicide rate is so fucking high, because parents, and I'm glad as millennials we normalize therapy, and we normalize talking about your feelings. Same. Shout out to Mrs. Davis, my therapist from Clean, Texas on Fort Hood.
I didn't know what her name was.
Like, she's my first therapist, and she was amazing.
Yeah, therapy's great, especially as black men. Yeah, you got to do it.
As black people, we all need therapy. Matter of fact, I'm not even putting a color on it this time. Everybody, you need to take your ass to a licensed mental health professional, and it can help you. Like,
and I don't mean that, and like, of course, I mean all black people, but I mean black men. They get a very it's a weird expectation. And they can't show any emotion. They can't cry. They can't, be upset. That's like, even like I've seen black dads, it's like their son gets upset and the dad takes it as a challenge. I'm like, bro, your son is 6. Bro, there's no challenge, bro. Let him, why don't you explain to him why you don't have to be upset, or explain to him why you did what you did. But now you're gonna beat up a 6.
It's not funny. Not beating up 6-year-olds is not funny.
I showed that nigga something. That's what he's saying to himself.
Like those parents that you see. Oh my God! I think it was. I hope the mom went to jail, but I don't remember if she did or not. I saw some video, on Facebook, because that's where all the videos happen.
True.
Where the teacher called his mom to the school. I think the kid was just like disrupting class. Nothing like.
Yeah.
He was just being disruptive. Kids are disrupt. They're children.
Yeah.
And she came to the school and like beat the little boy's ass from like the classroom to the parking lot where the car was. She was like,
for what?
Oh, and she had like her homegirl or whatever, whoever there, filming it. And then you filmed this video. You watched it after you filmed it, and you were like, "Yeah, this is gonna be a good idea to post this shit of me abusing my child." And it's like, I feel like that kid probably has never been talked to, or just like having a son. That's one thing about Lando. I want him to know that yes, he's light skinned, and they're gonna think he emotional regardless. But like, your emotions, it's okay to be emotional. Because I've heard mothers, even women my age, if their son is crying, they be like, shut up with that soft shit. Like, he's
soft, man. He's 3.
Bro,
you ever had a good cry?
Yeah, man.
Bro, sometimes you just need a good cry. Like, you just sit in the shower and you just cry.
Ian
bro.
is light skinned, by the way, y'all, where he's talking about crying in the shower.
Yeah. Bro, I'm telling you, if you've never tried it before, just play the saddest song you could think of, go in the shower and just cry.
Niggas is not about to be crying in the shower listening to this podcast, bro. You about to have niggas like...
You know what? This nigga's on something, man.
They gonna light some candles and then turn the Bluetooth on.
And just cry, man.
Nobody will hear you.
Get a nice handkerchief, man. That shit. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, nah. Like, but the kid, her son was like 3, and she was like, "Shut that soft shit up. You ain't about to be crying like the little bitch. Bitch, he's 3."
Yeah, but that's like the opposite. I want Luna to be like a badass.
Really?
Like, and I don't mean like you know, it's sometimes girls are raised to be a little more timid. And I don't want that from her. I want her to like not be afraid of a challenge, not be afraid to explore. Because we don't encourage girls to explore.
I feel like with her, that won't be taken. It'll be acceptable. I feel like for her to do that. I feel like that'll be acceptable for her to do that because. And this goes back to my to last week's episode with Shayla that that we were having because you know she's a biracial baby and her being astute and being just like not taking anybody's shit will be seen as, oh, that's sexy. She's empowered. She's, you know, she's this and she's that. But it's like a lot of kids don't have the range to be able to do something like that. If she was like, you know what I'm saying? A little dark skinned little baby who grew up to be like that, then she's the sassy black woman who gets put into that box of just like, oh, it's always you black bitches who don't want nobody, who can't submit or who can't do this and can't do that.
You have to make it very important to be able to identify qualities that you have and that you can do that other people can't. And you have to be able to fight for it. Because I've done things like... I just went to TJ Maxx the other day. And I know they're watching me. I'm a black kid. Whatever. Like 10 minutes go by and I see this black kid with dreads and he has a bag on. I'm like, damn, that nigga probably steal it. But I'm like, damn, he might be thinking the same thing as me, but I'm projecting that onto somebody else that I don't even realize can have the same issue as me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we have to be able to, we have to defend people that don't look like us and that we may think isn't getting the same treatment as you. Or they're doing something different. No, you got to be able to defend everybody.
Yeah, because then, and especially do that in front of the kids because they'll know, like, okay, even though they don't look like us, they still deserve to be protected and 100%. Taken up for.
100%.
Yeah, because that's definitely. I just want Lando. If he's my only kid, if we have future kids, the world may never know. The jury's still out on that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But don't get me started. I'm getting started on kids are trash. It's coming soon, man. It's coming soon.
I don't know about that, but it's like I just want him to be the best version of myself, of himself. But I want to put in the best version of me, and I would think that Stefan wants to put in the best version of himself so we can, because that's up to us. It takes both of us to to develop him into the person that he is. I also want him to be 6'7", playing shooting guard for the Los Angeles Lakers.
I have a message for all you parents that take your kids to go play basketball. He probably don't want to play that goddamn game, man. I'm telling you. And your kid's not going to be Steph Curry. He might not be Shaq. He might not be he might not want to be a hooper. He might be the best clarinet player ever. And you gonna be at them, and you better be at them concerts, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like that's one thing too. I heard Iman Shumpert say that about their beautiful daughter Junie. He was saying that whatever she decides that she wants to do, they encourage it. And if you guys hear it in the background, that's the greatest little baby ever coming in while we're trying to record a podcast. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a big man.
Can you say hi to the people? He's waving. But no, it's like just encourage whatever. That's all I want to do is encourage whatever he wants to do. I want him to go. Okay. All right. What are you doing? I want him to go full force into it and know that he has his father and my support to do whatever. I mean, I want him to play basketball. But if he doesn't want to play basketball and he's like, Mom, I want to, I don't know. Because I'm going to be like, just at least try it.
Yeah, but you should encourage your kids to try everything, man.
Yeah, at least try it. Don't just
try it out. Well, you should encourage your kids to not be afraid to try something.
Yeah. And don't tell them that they can't do something just because whatever. That's the older generations, they had a terrible habit of doing that. And this is going to be my last, we're going to wrap it up with this one, about family members and like their viewpoints or bigotry and biases and different things like that. Do you just take Luna out of, like, she just won't be a part, you know what I'm saying, of anything they have going on? Or do you just just hope that what you're instilling in her kind of overrides what their bigotries and things like that? And that's just not calling your family bigots, but you get what I mean. Everybody has problematic views.
I just hope Luna, I guess, goes back to, like, isn't afraid to be corrected, isn't afraid to learn. Like, you know how you feel. Like you said before, you could still raise the serial killer. Yeah. You don't know. So I want you to listen to what I'm saying. I want you to listen to what everybody else around you is saying that's trying to give you advice. If it doesn't sound good, don't listen to it.
Yeah.
You're your own person, and the decisions that you make they affect every day for the rest of your life. So, yeah, I mean, I hope she goes out there and kicks ass, man. That's it.
Yeah, definitely.
Be the best version of you.
I think that's the goal of most parents. I'm not going to say all of them.
Yeah.
It's for their kids to just go out, be better than me, and just, be a productive member of society. And
just be a better you every day. That's
it.
You get better at something every day. Can't tell you anything. But kids are trash, man. Don't have kids. If you don't have kids and you listen,
it's a scam.
Don't have kids. It's not fun. It's not fun at all.
With that being said, thank you, Ian, so much for being on this episode of Not That Problematic. We're going to list all your social media handles and everything down in the description box.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and do that.
We're going to do that. And then thank you guys for listening. And I'll catch you guys next week on another episode of Not That Problematic.
Peace, guys. Oh, Lando.